Well, it's time to work on the plow for the 817. The wear strip on the bottom was totally shot, and probably about 2 years ago I welded a piece of metal across the bottom, and now that piece of metal is totally worn off. The driveway that I plow with it is very rough, and it's got like ridges like this in it and stuff, and it just wears out the cheap steel that you buy at Tractor Supply in no time. So you can buy a wear strip from Gravely. It's a lot of money. It's like 120 bucks or something. So I bought a piece of 48-inch long steel, 3/16 inch thick at Tractor Supply for $8.99. And I'm basically going to drill a couple holes in it and bolt it onto the existing wear strip. The one that I had on there was bolted, and then it wore too thin and the bolts didn't line up right, so I put a couple welds on it with the arc welder. That was a few years ago. So now I'm gonna have to grind those welds off in order to get the thing off. So let's check it out. So this is your wear strip here, which the back here is curved and that goes under the plow. And you can see on the edge, that's worn thin. The front part here is almost like it's an angle iron, but it should stick out about this far, which would set it out almost another inch from where it is. It's so worn. So you can see the strip that's on the front there that I had mounted on there before that wore off. And across the whole length of the thing, it's wore right down, right back to where the original wear strip was. So I got a couple welds that I put on here. Like, this is gonna suck to grind these off actually, because I did a good job. I got maybe like 6 different spots where I welded it on for a couple inches long. So I'm going to try to grind those welds off and pop the thing off the front. And you can see where there were some holes drilled in there. So what I'm going to do is just take a pair of vice grips and vice grip my new piece of metal on there and just drill the holes through to the new metal. And I think that should allow us to call it a day at that point. All right, so I ground down the welds a lot, but those things are really tough, and I don't know how hard it's going to be to separate this thing still, but I'm going to try to hammer it off with a chisel a little bit. I got probably 90% of the welds ground off, but I think if I just get it started with my hammer here and my chisel, that it'll pop right off. So let's see what we can do. Easier said than done, guys. Try cutting it.
pain. Probably shouldn't have welded this on before. There we go. There we go. Now we're getting it. That cutting works good. Do that to the next weld here. Sweet. That worked good, cutting. My disc broke off. That blows. I'll go back to my grinder, I guess. Unless I got my little, no I don't. Let's see, I'll go back to the grinder. I think I got more cutoff wheels, but I don't feel like finding them. There we go. All right, we got most of that whole end's off. So now we're down to about here. Let's see. There we go. Sweet. All right, so now that we got that thing off, let's check this thing out again. So here's the plan. Now that we got that wear strip off of the thing, what we're going to do is take this piece of metal that I bought and basically put it across the front here like this, as low as I can get it, and we'll vice grip it on and we'll just drill out. I got 5 holes in here, or 6 holes. We'll just vice grip it on there and drill out those 6 holes, put 6 bolts in it, and we'll be good to go. So let me get the vice grips and we'll mock it up. All right, so we got it mocked up for the most part here. And I'm gonna show you how much that thing was worn off. I'm gonna look at the amount of meat that's on this thing. That's where I started with this wear strip. And it wears down so quick that it wears down to nothing. And I don't know what it is. I just have a feeling that the steel that you buy at Tractor Supply is just cheap shit that's not very strong. And unfortunately, I don't have anywhere else around here to buy metal from other than Tractor Supply. So I'm going to just drill out these holes here. And, you know, then we'll just bolt it up and call it a day. I'm using some bolts that are 5/16 by 3/4 here. And they fit in here nice. So now I've got 3 out of the 6 holes done, and probably just good enough with these 3, but I'm gonna put all of them on there just to be official. You get the idea. We got it all bolted up, and it's gonna be real nice. I'll tell you that, it's gonna be real nice. A nice fresh strip on there, 1.5 inches wide by 3/16. And if I really had more energy, I should probably take another piece and weld my old piece on the back of this here, give it a little more width. But yeah, this is gonna be awesome, guys. There's a nice straight edge on there, all 4 feet wide, and this plow is gonna be the bomb. I'm excited about that. Well, I just brought it out in the cold and gave it a shot of rusty metal primer just to try to give it a little bit of protection so it doesn't get all rusty looking the minute I start using this thing. But hopefully in the morning it will be dry and I'll bolt it up, and I'll be ready to plow on the next storm that's supposed to be tomorrow night. Ready to put the wear strip back on, and it bolts on with 4 1-inch long 3/8 carriage bolts. The original ones here are all shot and rusted and worn down and stuff, so I bought 4 new ones and 4 nylon lock nuts, and we just got to bolt this thing on. So we got all 4 carriage bolts on it now, and we're ready to plow some snow. We're supposed to get 5 to 8 inches, but see what happens, but we should be mint now.